As Jenny arrived home, she was utterly exhausted and still slightly hungover. Yet despite the fatigue, she felt a small sense of relief. Maybe, just maybe, someone was finally taking her seriously. Or at least someone wasn't immediately dismissing her as insane. Then Kathy showed up. "Jenny, why are you hanging around with Tina?" Kathy demanded, hands on hips. "I told you she's crazy. She has a terrible reputation. If you keep this up, you'll be tarred with the same brush." Jenny sighed. "Kathy, I need answers. Tina's house is like a library. Sure, she may not live by society's rules, but she's full of knowledge, and she might actually help me, and I could help her. She's really not that bad once you talk to her without, the whole judging thing. Maybe you should give her a chance." "No way," Kathy scoffed. "Reputation is everything in this community." "Is it though?" Jenny challenged. "In the world I come from, women put this invisible pressure on themselves to be perfect. And even though this world is different, the pressure's still here. Aren't you exhausted from trying to be perfect, Kathy? Does it wear you down, never being able to do what you actually want?" Kathy let out a sharp laugh. "Says you, the one who wished to be here in the first place. So why are you even digging for answers? What's your end game? To change this world? To leave? To prove yourself right?" Jenny hesitated. "I don't know. I just don't know." "Then maybe you should stop fighting it and just embrace your life here," Kathy said. "You have great friends, children, a husband who adores you, and as much allowance as you want." Jenny blinked. "Allowance?" "Yes, James gives you whatever you ask for. Not all wives have that luxury, you know." Jenny made a mental note, and then a literal one. "Shopping. Speaking of which, Kathy, will you come off base with me tomorrow? We can shop." "Why, of course," Kathy agreed. But then she added, "We just need a male escort." "Fine, let's all go. Me, you, Tina, and Liam. Is that allowed?" Kathy hesitated. Jenny could see she didn't want Tina and Liam involved, but her nosiness was stronger than her disapproval. "I'll think about it," she said. That evening at dinner, Jenny approached the subject with James. "I'm going shopping in town with Kathy tomorrow. I need new shoes and a few other bits. Can I have an allowance, please?" "Of course. Will 200 do?" Jenny had no clue. Yes." She could barely contain her excitement. Tomorrow she would finally see what lay beyond the wire. The next morning, Jenny knocked on Kathy's door. "Come on, you come in. I want and I need you there. You're my best friend, and nothing will change that." Kathy gave her a long look, but smirked. I know, I'm coming." As they arrived at Tina's house, they saw curtains twitching from the other wives. "Let's go over the list before we leave," Tina said as they entered. Liam came downstairs grinning. "Good morning, ladies. Which one of you has quantum leaped into another realm?" Jenny raised a hand. "That would be me, and you were there, actually." Liam mused. "Shame I didn't leap into a better world." "Thanks, darling," Tina said, rolling her eyes. They all sat down as Tina pulled out a book. "I found some research." Jenny then recounted every detail of her experience in order. Liam, though sceptical, found certain elements strange, particularly the diving aspect, which happened to be his hobby, something Jenny couldn't have known. He was intrigued, if not convinced. "So," Liam asked, "do you prefer this world, or do you prefer the other one? What if you didn't jump into another world? What if you just changed history?" Jenny replied, "That's what I'm afraid of. If I've changed history, that means people have died who should have been born, and they never existed because of me. For my own sanity, I need to believe this is a quantum jump." Tina opened the book. "I found this, The Hidden Reality of Parallel Universes and Deep Laws of the Cosmos by Brian Greene." Kathy wrinkled her nose. "What the hell is a quantum jump?" Tina leaned forward. "The multiverse theory suggests that multiple versions of ourselves exist in parallel universes. Every decision we make creates a branching reality. So in theory, Jenny could have jumped between worlds." Kathy rolled her eyes. "You're all crazy." "Maybe," Liam said. "But Jenny, where's the box?" Jenny froze. "Excuse me?" "The trinket box," Liam pressed. "It clearly played a role in whatever happened to you. Where is it?" Jenny shot up from her chair. "Oh my God, I didn't even think about the box. I don't know where I put it. I was so out of it from the sunstroke that day. She began pacing frantically, trying to remember. Okay, enough of this, Kathy interrupted, hands on her hips. You guys can play sci-fi detective later. Right now we're going shopping. Who knows? Maybe Jenny will have an epiphany on the way. They all agreed. As they approached the town centre and started walking through the streets, Jenny felt an uneasy chill creep up her spine, like a ghost whispering, "Welcome to Oppressionville." She had expected something different, but this was next level dystopian nonsense. Yet something else caught her eye. The streets, the architecture, even the signage. It was all eerily familiar. The building had the rigid elegance of old British towns. The storefronts reminisced of something she'd seen in history books. This place, it looks like Britain, she murmured. Kathy, overhearing, smirked. That's because it is. Well, sort of. Britain took over Cyprus and many other countries years ago. It belongs to the UK now. Jenny's stomach tightened. So wait, this isn't just some isolated society. The entire world follows these rules. Well, not the entire world, Kathy admitted, but enough. The British influence reshaped everything. Now stop gawking and keep walking before you attract attention. Jenny swallowed hard, suddenly feeling even more trapped. Whatever had happened to her, she was now stuck in a world where Britain never let go of its grip. She turned her gaze back to the town, her unease deepening. If she wanted to fix this, she had a much bigger battle ahead than she had ever imagined. The streets were bustling yet eerily stiff. Women moved in clusters, like awkward synchronized swimmers forced to practice on land. There were only a few of them, and they never walked alone, always with husbands, brothers, or some assigned fun police member. A few sat on benches, hands neatly folded, staring into the distance like they were buffering in real life. Jenny surveyed the storefronts, waiting for a pop of colour, an inviting display, or something remotely human. Instead, she was met with the most depressing lineup of stores she's ever seen. No dazzling boutiques, no perfume wafting through the air, and no unnecessary but very necessary shoe stores. Just bleak signage, provisions, clothing, medicines, household goods. She half expected to see one that just read mandatory misery. Her steps slowed. Where are all the women? She asked in a hushed voice. They don't shop, Tina whispered back. Not unless given explicit permission. Jenny's stomach twisted like she just swallowed a live eel. Oh, great. Dream, she said sarcastically. Kathy sighed like she'd had to explain this to 1,000 clueless newcomers. Wives don't handle money, Jenny. You request what you need, your husband approves it, and then either he or an assigned male makes the purchase. If we're allowed inside at all, it's just to browse under supervision. And keep your voice down. Chatting too much? That's improper behaviour. Jenny scowled. So, what, women just glide silently through life like a well-dressed phantom? More or less, Kathy replied. Jenny took another look around, and the men stood in groups, laughing, chatting, just existing like normal people. Meanwhile, the women who dared enter the shops moved like ghosts. They were silent, efficient, and apparently allergic to making eye contact. Jenny's hands curled into fists. And we're just okay with this. Jenny shot her a look that screamed, "Shut up before you end up in trouble." They approached the fabric store. A uniformed man at the entrance nodded to Liam before giving the women a once-over. All escorted, he said. Liam, ever the diplomat, gave a smooth nod. Of course. The guard stepped aside, but Jenny still felt his gaze boring into her skull. The shop itself was dimly lit, the bolts of fabric stacked so neatly it was almost aggressive. Jenny reached out to touch a swatch of blue silk, then hesitated. Did she need permission for that too? Was she about to commit textile treason? An elderly woman behind the counter flickered her eyes towards her, then back down, lips pressed together like she'd been trained in the art of not acknowledging people. Jenny leaned towards Tina. A woman. Does she own the shop? Tina snorted. Hardly. She just manages it, but everything is in the husband's name, of course. Jenny inhaled sharply. She had known that this world was backwards, but standing here, experiencing it firsthand, this was different. Just as she was processing it all, a voice rang out behind them, deep and authoritative. You, woman. Jenny turned slowly. A man in a dark coat was glaring at her like she'd just kicked his dog. Who gave you permission to speak so freely? Her mouth went dry. Permission? To speak? Oh, she was about to cause a scene. Before she could, Liam stepped in smoothly. She's new, still learning the rules. The man narrowed his eyes at Jenny, and for a moment she seriously considered biting him. Learn faster, he grunted before storming off. Jenny exhaled through clenched teeth, and Kathy nudged her. Her mood didn't improve when she remembered she needed shoes, something modest and practical, because all she had were high heels. They entered the shoe shop, which had all the charm of a waiting room. Jenny found a pair with a smaller heel, not the breezy flip-flops she was used to. Just as she went to pay, Kathy nudged her. You can't handle money, remember? We wait for the man. Jenny clenched her jaw so hard she might have developed superpowers. The shop assistant didn't even look at her. Instead, she addressed Liam. She would like these? Liam nodded. Yes. Jenny waved her arms. I'm literally standing right here. The shop assistant side-eyed her like she was a particularly unruly houseplant, then turned towards the back of the store. John, payment, please. A middle-aged man shuffled out. Good day, sir, for the lady. Liam nodded again. Yes, please. And your status, sir? Liam pulled out some sort of official card. Warrant officer. The man beamed. Ah, fantastic. 20% discount for you. Jenny's jaw dropped. A military discount in this realm too? Tina leaned in. Status discount. The higher your status in society, the less you pay. Jenny nearly choking on her own outrage. Oh, wonderful. Capitalism. I love that for us. By the time they left, Jenny had officially given up on pretending to be okay. She walked with the others back to the car, quiet for once. Eyes on the pavement, a slight frown tugging at her lips. As they got in, Liam glanced in the rearview mirror. Not what you wished for. Jenny's answer, no, this is hell. Liam replied, we'll take you out tonight and have a good time, won't we, Tina? Tina smirked, absolutely, and you're wearing those new shoes. Jenny groaned, slouching against the seat. Oh, joy, I can't wait.